You hear a lot these days about athletes, retiring, transitioning. And I think I was part of the first wave of even being acknowledged for that. I didn't leave because I was injured. I didn't leave because I was cut. Like, I left on my own terms, and it was still hard because your identity is linear. To eat right, to have the right strength training, to have the right amount of recovery, like everything. It took me at least a year to feel okay, which I know sounds dramatic, but it is really hard. And sometimes people would say, I don't get it. Like, weren't you glad to be done? I said, yeah, I was really glad to be done, but I miss being really good at something because I didn't feel like I was really good at anything for a long time.
Welcome to the Calgary Sessions. This is episode number 174. I'm your host, Jeff Humphreys. Before I get into it, if you like this, please subscribe, leave a review, stars, whatever. Today's guest, my good friend Megan. She loves the show. She's a huge supporter. I've known her. We graduated together. I've known her forever. Amazing person. She sent me a message. She's like, are you looking for people? I'm like, well, who do you have? Who are you thinking about? And so she sends your name over, and I was like, yep, sign her up. So please name and who you are.
Yes, absolutely. My name is Cari Din. Oh, who I am. Yeah, that's interesting. I guess it depends. I am a mom of young men who are epic young men. I'm a professor in kinesiology. I was an Olympic athlete in 1996 on an artistic swimming team. We won the silver medal. People always tell me it's disingenuous when I don't share that. I was a swim coach for lots of years. I have 3 degrees. I am a daughter of 2 wonderful prairie kids who met at U of A. I'm a proud sister to a rock star phys ed teacher. I'm part of a community of women that I worked really hard to build since COVID, actually. Because I think in COVID, I really saw that, it's easy to take those connections for granted until they're gone and you're sitting in your house wondering who you are. I'm a hiker, for sure. I'm just a big believer in how magical people are.
So good. This is going to be a chat. I'm not going to jinx it to start it, but really cool. So to give you context, I don't do any research on anybody. I know that they're an artist, athlete, or entrepreneur, and they live in Calgary.
Yeah.
And that's it. So
love it.
Where this thing goes, I have no idea. It's kind of wherever you want to take it. You've seen one? You saw Duff's or listened to Duff's?
Yes. And I got to say, if you could only interview one athlete in, I'm going to say Canada, just to be bold, it needs to be Duff Gibson.
No way. Why do you have such a
Duff? Well, have you read his book? I guess not if you don't.
I don't read books.
Yeah.
That's why I'm such a shitty student.
No, Duff is, oh my word. I think he's the first sport person that put into words something I hope I knew. I think I knew, but that it's that competing against someone who's really, really good is not only a privilege, but it's really, really fun. Like the chance to be that excited and on the edge of how something's going to go.
Yeah.
And then to know that it's privilege over and over. And he tells great stories about being, I think, a young wrestler. I don't want to steal his story, but just how his dad showed him that. And that, when you get out there for him in the ring or on the ice, my God, how do they do that? But for me, it would have been like walking out on the slippery pool deck and just thinking, I'm in awe of those before me and those after me. And that it's just a super fun joy to be there. I mean, don't get me wrong, Duff is much more, he knew it way younger than me, but I know that now. Yeah. So I can't say enough about the guy. Yeah. To me, he's the legend of Calgary. I'm happy to debate with anybody on the show about why Duff should win.
Cool. We have to set that up sometime.
That'd be awesome. I'll have notes. I'll prepare.
But it's interesting now that we're here. It's like there's so many Olympic animals in this city.
I know.
Like it's just
I know.
You probably know way more than me, but I've had the pleasure to sit down with a handful, and it's just like, wow, they're all over.
Yeah.
But he's a fireman, so is my brother. So that's kind of where there's like this
cool.
loose connection. So I've heard the name for a long time, obviously being a sports guy, and then him being a fire guy. So it was a cool one.
Yeah.
So take this thing back. Where you grew up, how you grew up, parents, siblings, jobs, school, sports, and we'll just kind of like weave our way to where you are today, because I'm sure it'll be a cool story.
Yeah, it's a long quilt.
Which good. I got so much time on these new cards. We're good, so let it rip.
Okay. Well, I'm sitting here looking at albums, and it makes me think about my first album. It was Andy Gibb's Shadow Dancing. I was 7 years old, and I thought it was the greatest thing I'd ever owned. Yeah. So it's neat to have like that sticks to a really early memory. And actually, I got that album as a gift because we were moving to Calgary from the suburbs of Vancouver. And my brother and I weren't very happy. And we were 7 and 9, and we got to Calgary, and I had that album. I wish I knew what he had. I'm sure it was an album. He's the first music kid in our family. But yeah, so I ended up in Calgary when I was 8 years old. Actually got here on my birthday.
All right.
Yeah, in 1978.
Why the move?
My dad's work. Yeah. So my mom drove Chris and I in our orange VW van with our little toy poodle named Perno. And he had a broken leg. Yeah, like all the things, right? And I remember we had plants, like it was the 70s, right? So we had plants that were in macrame hangers all over the van because the movers couldn't take the plants. We got the dog. And I had my Andy Gibb album. Like he's, for those who don't know, the brother of the Bee Gees, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
And it just spoke to you then, or like was just like...
I don't even know. I wish I knew. I'm pretty sure it was another kid in my class, Cindy Riggs. So Cindy was the coolest in grade 2, and I think she had the album, so I had to have it.
Do you have clear memories of like when you talk about this one specifically?
Yeah.
Like being an 8-year-old, like clear?
I have these ones, and I'm going to quote from a scholar who I love, and I hope I get to meet someday. So I total fangirl on researchers too, and musicians, lots of people. I mean, I love people. Like, they're so interesting. So she calls those interruptions. Like so I believe in existentialism in the sense that we get to keep creating ourselves and we're always becoming who we are, which I know sounds weird. But Dr. Cassidy would say those kind of photos, those moments that you can still see are interruptions. And I think because it was a move, right? It was a big deal because we were happy little kids in the suburbs. And so it was big. Then I don't have that kind of memory for huge swaths of my life. But yeah, I would say the stories that I remember are probably interruptions, whether I would have called them that or not. But in her theory of being and learning, that's what she calls them.
It's cool because the interruptions, the negative ones could be called trauma. Yeah. And then the positive ones are successes or wins or whatever the thing was.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Interruptions.
Yeah. And I'm sure we all have a bit of both, right?
So what happens when you get to Calgary, even before? Like, what are you into as a youngster? Like, what's kind of got your attention?
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, I always really looked up to my brother. Like, I had him on a pedestal, no question. He's 2.5 years older. I still really admire. He ran away from Calgary more than half of his life ago, but for all the right reasons, wanted to join a band here in Vancouver. But yeah, I really admire him. And so I was always following him. And he was a speed swimmer, competitive swimmer, in an outdoor swim club called the North Delta Sunfish when we were really little. So I would go to the early morning practice and watch because my mom didn't want to leave me at home alone because I was like 4 or 5 years old. And then I got in the water to join that club as soon as they would have me. But I was... it's so funny because the coach, Mrs. Gare, called me Timid Cari, which when people meet me cracks them up. But, I was 6. I was pretty timid and loved the water, but really hated swimming up and down. Like I call it riding the black line, like just so boring, right? And so she got a kick out of me because I would just go underwater and kind of swim around. And pop up sometimes, but was nervous to do like the stuff she wanted me to do, like dive in or butterfly, heaven forbid. So anyway, I was following him, right? And then we got to Calgary, and my mom, who, you know, is on the pedestal right up there, she's a phys ed teacher. And so she knew, like, I did dance. I wasn't the greatest at dance because I would get annoyed if I didn't get picked. Like back then, they would just pick the kid, right? There was no inclusion and so in dance, I loved it, but I didn't get picked for this one show. So I was kind of annoyed. And my mom, she saw that I am I'm a water animal for sure, but I love music. And so she knew about synchronized swimming, and she'd heard of the Calgary Acrobats. So she took me down again in that van underneath the Center Street Bridge. Like, how in the world we didn't die, right? Doesn't know Calgary, but she knew we were going to get to the YWCA because that was our home pool back then. And I know it's kind of corny, but it was just like love at first sight. I was terrible. Like I could barely do 50 meters, but yeah, it was my thing, and it really always was. It doesn't mean there weren't some really hard times. Like I can't stand it when people say, oh, you know, and it was no, there were some really hard moments where I wanted to quit more times than you want to hear about. But I always say to people, like, and again, I'm a prof, right? So I'm obsessed with learning, but I just think it's so important to think about the moment we felt, like for me, it was the moment I fell in love with learning. It was underwater at like 6:30 a.m., freezing morning, but sun streaming down deep into the deep end of that pool. And yeah, just trying to figure out how to stay underwater because I was a little bit of a brat and didn't want to listen to what the coach was saying. And like figuring it out was that moment of, you know, I'm learning how to do it, and then I can tell my buddy how to do it. And it's that, and I wouldn't have called it that, but I think falling in love with, for me, learning is a place I like to go back to when I'm wondering what my purpose is.
Fascinating. Why the pool? Like, why did your parents throw you in water? And context on me. My mom, I'm the oldest. I have two younger brother, younger sister, Keith and Laura. My mom threw us all in the water early because she had my mom had a loose early drowning accident, like around her. Like she got in a spot around water and was not comfortable. She's like, there's no way my kids are ever going to feel that around water.
Yeah, good.
So she threw us in there early.
Good woman.
And so I was in the pool. Like, I love the water.
Oh, good.
I'm not like you, but I'm a water baby. Yeah. Like, I love it. So that's why I'm a water baby. Why did your parents, you and your brother?
Okay, I hope my brother's cool with this, but I asked.
Tough luck.
Yeah. Close your ears, Chris. My mom saw, so phys ed gal, right? Like she was on two different teams at U of A, like back in the 50s, 60s. Cool. She was one of the only women in phys ed. Like I could just do the whole thing on Lorna.
She's a force.
Yeah, totally. And just so much love, right?
Yeah.
Like so much love. I mean, the gals I grew up swimming with could tell you, your mom was the best mom, which is kind of cool to hear at this age. Anyway, all my stories are rabbit holes.
That makes for the best podcast. So don't stop.
I think she saw in Chris, so he's 2.5 years older, that maybe the traditional sports weren't going to fit.
Yeah.
So, you know, for sure my mom, I think my dad, I think was fairly sporty himself.
Yeah.
He told less stories about it, but my mom, she got him in the water real quick. So it was just a thing. And my mom was a lifeguard. She was also a figure skater. She did a lot. But I think it really was Chris. And Chris really did well in the water quickly. Yeah. And we lived in Thunder Bay when he was little, and he was on the Thunder Bay Thunderbolts. He was like 5 years old.
Awesome.
Yeah. Those little polyester swimsuits that don't stretch. You know what I mean? Anyway, so it was really another example of following him. And I think she'd say too, I didn't know this at the time, but swimmers are busy, right? So she wanted me to be as busy as him so that I wouldn't be the sibling kind of sitting and watching. Yep. And I think, you know, knowing her, she would have kept looking till I found something. And the other beautiful thing about her was it just, There's no pressure.
Yeah.
You know, I could have been last I know that a lot of people would say that, but I'm really serious. Like, just because she was super athletic, she didn't demand that we were. She just wanted us to have, joyful experiences.
That description, like in the pool that morning, is like, I was like, I can picture it all. I'm like, it's so cool. Did you, from that moment, you were a youngster.
Yeah.
Was swimming like all of it for you? Like, was there anything else that had your attention? Or was it just all pool?
Yeah, no, I had a double focus. I was super competitive at school.
Oh, really?
Like, I wanted to beat people quietly.
Wow.
So I love being an underdog. And I don't think I knew that until grade 7. So I was in, Calgary. So up until grade 6, it was elementary school. And then we moved to junior high in grade 7.
Yep.
And I don't think I understood until grade 7 that's, okay, you can get a percentage and you can get honors and you can get awards. So once I had a little bit of success and started to realize it in grade 7, I was a pretty devoted student, pretty into it.
Quietly, or did your parents know, or did your friends know, or are you just like quiet assassin? Just
pretty quiet until I'd get awards, right? Like
you were
first
like
class
way up
honors.
there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, tons of kids did, but not
this kid. So
but no, I was really into it. So I think there's one theme in my life story is that and I have said this, if I have a chance at being really good, I will go for it, but I'm not going to announce it.
Yeah.
And if I don't, I will, like I do not do well on land sports. And I joke about it with my students all the time, just to kind of relax them, because I teach some coaching classes and we're in the gym.
Yeah.
And I'm just ridiculously bad on land. So it would never, people want me to play pickleball. I'm not until hopefully I make it to 80 and then it won't matter. But still, it's not a good quality to, but I will step in, if I think I have a shot. Not if I think I'm going to win, but if I think, so in grade 7, when I got that first 91%, then I kicked it into gear, and I've always really loved learning, which is funny. It goes back to that first memory. I wouldn't have called it that until this phase of my career. And that's a through line I can really see. Yeah.
I love how you explain that idea of like testing it and then knowing, and then seeing the opportunity.
Yeah.
How do you explain that? Because I feel like I'm the exact same way.
Oh, good.
To a point where, if I try something athletic, I'm sure I could maybe figure it out, but I don't do it.
Yeah.
The minute I try something and I'm good at it, it's over.
Yeah.
Like I will chase this thing down and usually get to a decent level.
Yeah.
What is that? What is that in you, or is it taught, or what is that?
Yeah. I think it's opportunity meets self-determination, right? Like I think, and let's go back to Lorna again, but you have to give yourself and give young people tons of opportunities to try. Whatever the try is, right? It can be bird watching. One of my sons is a massive birder, right? Yeah. It can be quilting. It can be basketball. But that, I think, and I hope that later in life we keep doing it. I think it gets harder, right? It's so vulnerable to be a novice.
Yeah.
But I do think so what's the sport you most love?
Right now?
Yeah.
Water skiing.
Right. So whatever happened with water skiing, and I don't know when it was, but you did have that sense of, and it could have even been joy, maybe not like excellence, but enough success that it was enjoyable. And I think so when I say self-determination, I mean, like you literally, you feel that you have a bit of skill that I can do it, right? Hopefully you're around people, like you're related. And I'm going full on into a psychological theory.
That's why I asked.
So like if you feel like you have a little bit of skill and you have a little bit of power on your own, that you're not reliant on everyone, and yet you're connected to people in that environment in some way, that's called self-determination, and you have every chance of staying with it. It's such a beautiful thing, honestly. If that's the one thing I could get everyone to understand, I think most of us would be more engaged with and happy in our lives. How's that for a bold statement?
I agree. Can you coach it? can you like help people get to that spot where they do make that decision? Or is it just like, it's not one decision, it's a bunch, but like coachable, trainable?
Oh yeah. I believe that. I'll say that about just about anything. I mean, you can't coach the length of your femur, right?
Yeah.
Like you got the femur. But I do, I think if you take a strengths-based approach, meaning you help the person see, and you can't lie.
Yeah.
Like you got to be really honest with them. But even if in that water skiing, the one thing was you stayed upright while you were waiting for that toe moment. I don't know the language of it, but that if you didn't feel it yourself, but that someone could help you see, and that those first 10 seconds were dead on, like do that again. You have a good chance. I'm not saying you can force it, but you have a good chance of reaching the person, particularly if they trust and respect you. So if they trust that you're being honest with them and that you are facilitating that learning, I think you can coach mostly. I don't think you can make everyone a superstar at everything. I don't, like, not at all. I think we all have aptitudes. But as far as getting someone to fall in love with and chase the thing, I mean, I think we should all do that. As a kinesiologist, I'm pushing students hard to do that for all kinds of people, not just athletes. Like, I push them so hard on that, Jeff.
Do they know? Do they know the why behind it or what you're doing?
Yeah, like I stand at the front and pretty much yell that movement is a human right. Like, we are all built to move, and you're going to be a kinesiologist. You better make that happen for people. You better make it happen. I say it so much they probably want to take me off the stage. Yeah. But I really believe it. It's such a joy to move, and it doesn't have to be sports.
I've been, this thought process, I've been getting into enough conversations in this show where, like, around physical fitness and the connection to mental fitness. And it's been, like, fascinating for me. Yeah. And when I get to think about myself too, there was probably a decade where I wasn't active, like I wasn't fit, and everything sucked.
Yeah.
Like I was not motivated, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then once I remembered, like, oh, I got to move.
Yeah.
Game on.
I mean, you don't need a science experiment to show it, right? When you feel it, you know it. Yeah.
But it's interesting. What I also find interesting is how a lot of people don't understand this. So as you're like telling these students, hopefully like sticks with them.
Yeah.
And then they can ingrain in the next generation, which is, because it seems like it's just, people look for different answers. This one seems like it's damn near the answer.
Yeah. And I couldn't agree more. And I also think we need to decouple movement from fitness, and probably it's getting better, but decouple being physically active from being skinny. That won't help us. But if we can tie it to that feeling of holistic wellness and that, standing in the middle of a forest, nature bathing, and then you keep walking. I mean, I think we have work to do on how someone who resists physical activity steps into it. I think that's the ultimate challenge.
For sure.
Yeah.
So you're in the Y pool. You're a youngster.
Yeah.
Crushing school. Junior high school.
Yeah.
What do those years look like for you?
Oh, I love junior high. I went to a small junior high, and most people, not most, but a lot of people, I think, loved high school, and I'm the inverse. I hated high school. I really struggled socially. I still did well with my grades, but junior high, I always try to think of why I loved it. I think it was small, and we had a lot of characters that kind of prevented cliques, if that makes sense. We had these, so the big personalities were wild and wacky, they were nerdy, they were the heads, they were so it felt to me, and you could talk to someone who was in my grade who would say she's so wrong, but to me it felt inclusive. Like we were just this group, this motley crew, and it was fun. I remember in grade 9, I remember my grade 9 grad dress. I was so excited. I got it at a training camp, of course. I was away at a training camp at 14. And it was Gunny Sacks was the brand. And my shoes were from Le Chateau, and they matched perfectly, as you do in 1984, right? And I thought, I can't wait to get to high school. And it's so heartbreaking because honestly, from about the second day in high school,
Until the end.
I think, oh yeah, yeah. And I think I mean, it was all my own worst enemy. I think it's a really, all of those years are fragile depending differently for each person. And for me, grade 10 and 11, yeah, were super hard. But because I just didn't make any friends and I didn't keep any either. So, but that's when I started to really become quite a good, like a decent synchronized swimmer. And I tried to call it artistic swimming. I'm going to stick with the original term.
I'm with that.
Okay. But I started to really have some success right at that time. I was asked to coach like when I was 14. So I can now see why, being in the pool was where I did belong.
Yeah.
And, when you're on a team of young women, you don't have to love each other, but you have to really work it out. And so I had that collection of friends that were more than friends in the sense that we are literally like standing on each other's shoulders, like flying around and kicking each other in the face. Like we gotta work it out. So that I was very, very lucky in those high school years just to be who I was and to be part of the community I was part of.
Yep.
It's part of a really, what I see now as just a unique club in the sense that every world champion and Olympian between the beginning of the sport and I like 88, Michelle, Cameron, Carolyn Waldo, like every woman was out of our club. Like it was just this phenom, and like anything that goes away. But I was lucky because I was on the tail end of that wave. So I grew up looking at these Amazons and thinking, holy bananas, like they're so strong, they're so cool. Yeah, so I was really, really lucky in those years to be at the club.
Yep.
Yeah.
My niece, Ella, is a synchro artistic.
Really?
Yeah. And so she's with the Killarney swim.
Oh, yeah.
And so she's been like, I don't know, I might get this wrong, but she won't watch this, so it doesn't matter. Maybe I'll make her watch this one. Like national stuff, traveling around, doing all the things. And she's just graduating grade 9, like next week.
Awesome.
She's been swimming for whatever, 4 or 5 years and like getting into it.
Yeah.
So from the outside, being the crazy uncle,
Yeah.
I'm watching the commitment at a young age, right?
Yeah.
Similar experience for you back then? Like, and I grew up, when I was in high school, there were some swimmers.
Yeah.
And so, swimming before school and after school. And like, it's just, was that your life back then? Was it like fully committed?
Yeah.
And at the time, do you even blink or you just do it? Like, you don't really think about all the things, or maybe you do.
Yeah. No, I didn't. Not only did I just do it, I would have run away from home if they said I couldn't do it. Like but I wasn't jumping up and down telling everyone how important it was. It literally was unconsciously my identity. I am one of those people who, I love the training as much as I grew to love competing. I always loved competing on a team. Like how fun, right? These are your sisters out there. But I grew to love doing it on my own. That took a long, long time. But yeah, I always really did love training. And it doesn't mean training wasn't sometimes hard. And I could tell you hours of stories of frustration and doubt and struggle. Like I've got them all. But yeah, at Ella's age, I was full on. I was so mad at my parents one year on spring break. We didn't do tons of travel as a family, but there was this one spring break and I was in grade 7 and I came back we were going to the provincial championships in Brooks, Alberta. I was swimming to Dr. Zhivago. See these interruptions, right?
Yeah, they're clear.
And we had missed a week of practice before provincial. So literally, I don't know the timing, but I came back to Calgary, got in the bus and went to Brooks and swam terribly. And I was so mad at my parents. Like, I don't remember what I said, but I'm sure I said to my mom that I will never do that again. I'll stay home alone, and I'm 12. I was furious because that mattered so much to me, how much. And in synchronized swimming, you may know this, but holding your breath is very unnatural. So you lose that quite quickly. Yeah. Like in a week, I really was affected. So that didn't happen again.
Were you okay with like that level of commitment?
Yeah, I loved it.
Like it was your spot.
Yeah, and I I sound like such a jerk, but I figured out, I don't know what age, but like, do you want to hear a hard work story? I mean, they're
Yes.
so cliche, but I figured this out. I wish I knew what age, but I always had it. So I was at a national team training camp, and it was actually in Calgary. And if you go to Lindsay Park, this story happened in the dive tank. Like, this is so funny, Jeff, that I'm in the moment. But I think I was 17, and I won't say her name, but there was a gal. It was a national B team. So we had an A team and a B team.
Yep.
We still didn't have a junior team, like next gen. That wasn't a thing yet. So I was on the B team. I think I had planned, had a goal of making the A team, but I didn't. So, it was a little bit, okay. But we go to the training camp, and this other person who'd been on the national A team and didn't make it was kind of the best athlete on our team. So we're training in Lindsay Park in the dive tank, and we're doing, it's called figures. So there's compulsory movements, and they're quite technical. And one of the things, you're smiling because you've seen Ella do them. Yeah. So they're really technical, and a lot of people hate them.
Yep.
There's no music. There's no applause. There's judges sternly sitting there waiting to flash a score. Like, it's intense. And I always say to people, it's kind of like scales and music. And I don't know if you get judged on scales. But anyway, one of the parts you're judged on is how controlled and smooth the movement is, meaning you're going to be under there a long, long time. So however long you can make your figure will impact your score, like bottom line. And so we were training figures, and we were all off the wall. We call it off the wall when you have to stay out in the water and you're working pretty hard. And we were doing some kind of a figure where you have a really slow ending. We call it a drop. So you're up high with your knees out, upside down, and you're slowly dropping. And over 6 weeks, and a long story, but this person didn't know this, but I always went behind her. So we're out there off the wall, we're on our own, but doing the same figure. And the first few weeks, I was always finished before her, but I could see that, right? So I was behind her. And as the weeks progressed, I could do the same time as her. And by the end, I could do it better than her, but I never told her. So this is me. I never told her. But then, and this is only a good, I think it's a work story. It's the reason I really love, like, if I have a chance again and I can outwork someone and outjoy them because I loved it, then I'm going to do it. And so at the competition, I did beat her. And she was really mad. Like, she's not from Calgary.
What is that?
Yeah.
Like, what is that? And so I'll give you something like also laughable. I ride my bike around the reservoir quite often in the summertime, like four or 5 days a week. It's like a 30K loop from my house.
Yeah, it's big.
Blast in the morning and then start my day. I'm so weird.
Yeah.
I've never said this on the show. If I see a bike ahead of me, it could be a blinking red light. If I see anything in the distance, I literally switch gears and everything just starts getting wound up.
Yeah.
It's like instant. And when I think to myself, it's like prey drive. It's like, it's competitive. There's something.
Yeah.
What is that? Because it's like, when you're like quietly watching somebody and actually like just, you're almost like, what's the word I'm looking for? Where you're just kind of like, you're like hunting them.
Yeah,
you're just
stalking
them. You're like stalking them, watching them.
Yeah.
And you know what the outcome that you're trying to get after is. And then if it's all consuming, it seems like you almost get there.
Well, and even like if we go to the bike path, you probably at least get closer to them. Right.
I catch them.
Yeah, you catch them.
No, I don't. This does not.
Yeah.
This isn't the probable.
This is live or die.
This is like click, click. I got them.
I think part of it. Well, I don't know. Do you? I mean, you sound like you cycle a lot. So you've got the strength, you got the technique, you got the aerobic, right?
Yeah, I'm capable.
Yeah. So that's enjoyable.
Yeah.
And when it's enjoyable and you have enough capacity, you're going to go because it's fun.
Yeah.
Even if you don't, so I'm a fair weather commuter cyclist. So I don't have any of what you have. So I enjoy it for the opposite reason. I think it's hilarious to see the commuters who are so serious.
Oh,
right?
Full
right.
spandy.
Full spandy. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
not me, by the way.
No, and just like all the gear, like
All of it.
their bikes are worth more than my car, right? Like it's that kind of. But because I'm not in the mode you're in, and I really am just doing point A to point B. It's a nice way to save on the gas, save the environment, save the parking. But I don't pretend to be someone who really knows how to cycle at all. Like it's not a water sport, right? So I'm enjoying myself in another way, happily letting people pass me. So I think that's the difference, right? Whereas I wouldn't be able to do that in the water.
Like anything water related?
Well, I don't swim much anymore, but because part of why swimming is so hard is if I get in the water, I suck relative to myself. I suck, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, back to you doing that. I think I wish we could give everyone a taste of that and they'd never stop moving, right?
Agreed.
Yeah.
But it's also like swimming though too, right? Like as soon as you, whether you get a taste of success or the minute you see yourself excelling, it's that right there. You're like, oh, I think I got it. And then it comes down to this, for me, I think it's having this gut intuition where you're like, I think I can get there.
Yeah.
I think that person there doesn't have this.
Yeah.
Whatever. And if that's just thinking about it all the time or the work ethic or like whatever it is.
Well, and you nailed it with that taste of success. I'm going to, seriously, we got Lorna teaching phys ed. She ended her career with littles like K to 6. And I remember her telling me, I need all of them to experience some success or like she knew that. She knew that her whole career. And she would give little kids, those utility balls that we used to use for dodgeball, not the soft
ones. They were
ones.
awesome.
She would give little folks when she'd meet them in grade 1 and they didn't have that gross motor skill for whatever reason, right? She would give some of them a ball and just say, you know what, this will make me cry. Don't bring it back till you can bounce it, whatever. She'd give them a little goal and they would keep it. Well, guess how they felt when they brought it back, right?
Lit up.
I can do it. Like, whew. So it's that little bit of success. I mean, there's a reason you ride that much, right? There's probably 20 reasons you ride that much, but
yeah, totally.
Yeah.
But the hunting one is just, I laugh at myself because I can't even stop myself.
It's enjoyable. Don't stop yourself.
No, I love it. Like sometimes I'm like, that's a little far, but just
smile when you pass them.
I always say morning.
Yeah. I'm a believer in the power of a smile.
Yeah. High school.
Yeah.
Coming out of high school.
Yeah.
Did you have an idea? Obviously, you've snuck in the word national thing a couple times. You're operating at a very high level in the pool.
Yeah.
And then so coming out of high school between education and sport, what were you thinking?
I would say, it's a really interesting moment because they were parallel drives up until university. And then so when I made that first national B team, I couldn't finish the year, and this is before you could do school online. So I dropped my last semester of grade 12, which was the strangest thing. But I would say that's another interruption because I skipped grad, which didn't make me sad at all because I had no friends. But I was going to go. But I did. That is when swimming became slightly. It didn't. I always was really crushing for A's, like pushing myself. But I had to go to university part-time to swim the amount we swam. So we swam 3 mornings a week, from 5:30 and sometimes I'd be at the pool till like 9:30 a.m. and then go to uni and then get back there by 1:30, sometimes 3:30 at the latest. So literally most of us in my generation were taking classes that could fit into our schedule. Right. So it took me 7 years to earn an undergrad. But I do see that as also, I really appreciated class when I got to do it. So it was a win. And in those years, I just trained way more than I did school. You kind of had to if you wanted to stay. I did, so I was on the national team for 9 years. I was going to say 10 years, but almost 10 years.
What were you taking at university? Did you have an idea? What did you know what you were going to take, or were you just squeezing classes in?
Yeah, I bounced around, right? Like I think I was signed up to do business, and then I failed my first, calculus exam and took the W, and Oh my gosh, I was out of, I mean, back then you weren't in business, but that was kind of the goal. I mean, you're 18, right? And I talk about, though, knowing, okay, well, I won't be good at that. So let's let it go.
Yep.
And then I was in an English class that I loved. So then I declared English because I loved the class. I did well. My professor's name was Barry. I forget his last name, but he wrote the kindest compliment I've ever had on a paper. And I write that now to my students, and I think of him. Yeah, yeah. But then English, the other classes, it wasn't really a fit. What are you going to do with an English degree? So sorry to anyone. I think it's great to have an English degree. It's great to have any degree. I really believe that. But it ended up in communication and culture, which was a real fit for me. It's a liberal arts degree. They're all liberal arts degrees, what I was playing with. So I was accumulating the right courses. And then, I just loved it. I would do that degree again. And honestly, being in that degree in some of the really, really intense, critical courses, like where we would critique Western thought or the way communication happens, it really nerding out on kind of speaking and reading and thinking.
Yep.
I don't tell a lot of people this, but I knew then I wanted to be a prof. I just didn't get there till I was 47.
Got there.
Yeah. But I knew.
What was it?
No, I was in awe of what they did and what they got to do. I think I should also say that 40 years ago, I had my first coaching gig, paid coaching gig. I was 14, and I should have seen all along that because a coach is a teacher, right? Yeah. A great coach is a great teacher, and vice versa. And so that's another line. I just didn't see it. It took me a while. I'm kind of a late bloomer too, right? So it took me a while to see that teaching, because I did love to coach. It's just a hard lifestyle.
Yeah.
Evenings, weekends. I mean, you're not going to be around your family.
Yeah.
So I didn't coach for long, but that's a weird answer. But I had this prof, Calgary people are going to know this. Apparently he has a Facebook fan group. I'm not on Facebook, but his name's Dr. Ron Glasberg. And he's just a legend. If you walk down the halls at U of C, they have all these really cool old retro framed pictures of the Teaching Excellence Awards.
Okay.
So the Students' Union has kind of like a People's Choice Award. And Dr. Glasberg, every picture. And he was just, for sure, he was charismatic. He would just light up the stadium, the big science theater. But because he would just hammer us with different ideas and different ways of thinking and a lot of doubt. And it was learning to be playful with our thinking, but also sharp with our thinking. I just fell in love with all of it. Yeah.
So interesting.
Yeah.
When you were in your university, did you have a athletic goal? As you were kind of bouncing around trying to figure out what you're interested in on the school side, did you have something in the back of your head?
The Olympic dream?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't actually.
So university, you're just national level.
Every year, I can tell you my goal setting interruption story, but every year I had a goal, and I had a very hard time. I don't love the word dream. I don't love dream goals. To me, it's what are you going to do? And for sure, a stretch goal is nice, but to me, you should set something that, it's a stretch, but it's within reach. I just don't believe in, I coached a decent number of athletes, sadly, that were, I want to go to the Olympics, but there was no, let's break it down, bite-sized chunks. We're going way back here. You're 11 years old and you never come to practice. So I don't believe in dreams in that way. But so every year I wanted to do better. I wanted to make that B team, right? I made the B team 2 years. And so by the time I made the A team, I had become better. So my goal was to become better every year and make, I knew the World Championships were in Italy. Fantastic. I'd have a picture of Italy on the back of my door, right? Or I
would do that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't think I was big at my coaches would have known. I had an incredible coach for most of my career. She knew. And we would really get into, what, the gap analysis part, you have to be really good at analyzing what you're missing to get it, right? And so what I like to say is, of course, I wanted to go to the Olympics. I didn't think I had a chance until 2 years before because it's not my style.
Yeah.
And I know that it's like, I was a little girl and I dreamed of it. The Olympics I went to, team event, it didn't even exist when I was a little girl, right?
True.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you touched on so many cool things, the dream thing, which is also, I like that because then you just can't say these obscure things that there's no connection to, like there's no through line to that thing.
Yeah.
How'd you put it instead of the dream thing? What'd you call it?
Yeah, the stretch goal.
Stretch goal, that's what you said, yeah.
And you can, like, I think with a stretch goal, if you have a coach who's really good,
Yeah.
like I grew up in this, like it was a champion factory, and I don't say that lightly.
Yeah.
And I had one of the best coaches of that era. So if I said, oh, Michelle, I want to go to, I don't know, fill in the blank.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a shot, she would have said, yeah, you're not, like, that's a couple of years away, Cari. Let's back it up. Like, what do you need to do? So I was being taught and schooled by these women. I only ever swam for women. Isn't that interesting? A lot of people in sports say, whoa, that's so weird. And I think I was really lucky as a young woman to be mentored by, you got to see it to be it. I think there's something, again, I had a lot of good luck. A lot.
And you actually, is it luck? Like, is it
Yeah.
the mix of like luck and, showing up, hard work? Because if you don't work hard,
Oh, for sure.
you don't get to these spots that have these great coaches,
Yeah.
Does luck play into it, or how do you say that like half flippantly?
I think I wish we could get a percentage. It's probably different on everyone,
Yeah.
but I think opportunity might be a weird synonym for luck.
Yeah.
That you grow up in a family where, my parents valued sport.
Yeah.
Like they were both working full time. We were in expensive sports, right? That kind of thing. So that's opportunity, but someone else could say, well, you're lucky you're born into that family. So
Right.
I do think I was lucky to be a Calgary Aquabelle in the day, like the heyday. But you're right. I translated the opportunity into something. There were tons of us there. This is going to sound so arrogant, but there were tons of us there, and very few won Olympic medals, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So I don't love saying that, but
But it's true.
yeah, and I never want to oversimplify it. Yeah. So it's both.
After you graduate,
Yeah.
university,
Yeah.
and I'm going to take both these at the same, because you got two things going on, which is fascinating: the school thing that you're crushing and the sport thing. So just keep.
I didn't crush both all the time. Like, let's just be clear. I could tell you some sob stories, some big sob stories.
Different podcast.
Okay.
But like, what starts happening after you graduate?
Yeah. A really hard time. Because I got to leave sport on a high, right? I got to walk out of there. I was ready to be, that final event. We all crawled out of the water. It's pretty hard to.
You were in university when you went to?
Yeah, I hadn't finished. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
we'll go back to this then.
Yeah. And I
So you're in
Like
university, and then
well, I hadn't done, like, the Olympic year, we centralized, and none of us went to school. Again, this is before online school.
Yep.
And I don't even think we could have that year, because we trained from 7 till noon and then came back for strength from 2 to 4. Like, it was ridiculous. And then I coached after. I coached little.
cool. Little Bells?
Yeah.
Whatever they were called.
Edmonton
Oh, you're in Edmonton,
Auroras.
okay.
Yeah. The arch rivals. Yeah. I loved it.
So sorry, back it
Yeah,
up just a second. How do you get selected to that? When they get centralized, is it the team and you know you're going to the Olympics, or was there like that selection process?
Yes.
How'd that work?
It was fascinating. It was, national team trials, which we had every year, and you do trials on your own, which is really weird because then you swim on a team. So, I don't know the sport corollary. This is bad. I know nothing about hockey, but I think it would be like doing a skills competition or a home run derby.
Yeah.
And now you're there. Don't worry, I know the home run derby is baseball, not hockey. But then you're picked for this team, and like to swim on a team is a really different skill set. Anyway, don't get me started. But so that's how we made it individually into the top. I think it was 15, and they took between 13 to 15 came to Edmonton. That's where we centralized, which was actually a really cool choice because none of the athletes in the end were from there. So we were all uprooted, and I think that was brilliant. And then we kept cutting. So we could carry 10 to the Olympics, but you're only going to swim 8.
Yep.
And it was super intense. Like I wasn't in the top. I was always happy if I was 6 out of 8, because 6 you're safe. And I never cracked the top 4. But if I was 7th, I was like puking in the bathroom, right? I was so afraid. Yeah.
And that whole process, was 6 hard for you? Or did you have a sweet spot of, you had the skill, you had the work ethic, like stay around 6? Was it, once you were there, it worked?
I love that question. I wish I'd written it all down at the time.
How old were you?
In the Olympic year, I was 25.
Okay.
Yeah.
So young, but like not
young, but old, right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Like I knew I wasn't going to get better. In that Olympic year, I had this feeling that was my max, which is a bit of an interesting but cold feeling, right? Because I just hadn't had it before.
Yeah.
And as much as the bodies are built to move, they have a finite point, right, of that level. Like it is, the air's really thin up there. Anyway, I would say, I had to hustle for 6. And it was quite delightful sometimes when I would beat people in the top 4, like in figures, actually, back to figures. So
Stalking people.
At our final world championship, I was 2nd on the team in figures. Never did it before. But what a thrill.
Yeah.
And I give 100% credit to my duet partner, who was my coach, who coached me into that swim. I mean, you're competitors. You're like sisters. You're coaching each other. I mean, it's pretty cool stuff. You're happy for one another, but you're head-to-head competing. It's just a fascinating psychological system that we grew up in.
Yeah, because it could have gone the other way, right? Like you could have been ruthless and backstabbing and all the rest of it.
And lots of times it was in different settings. But I think being 6 it was right. I think that's where I belonged. But I'm not going to say that it was easy to stay there. I couldn't relax.
Yeah.
I could not relax. And I had to work really hard on my strength, actually. Like I back then, there were barely any strength and conditioning coaches. No one can believe that, but we're talking a long time ago. But one of the first ones ever, I just lucked into meeting this guy. And I don't know what he was doing. He might have been doing his master's degree. I can't remember a lot. But I would meet him at the weight room on campus. And he would just give me a few things to do, to try. And I did get stronger. It was hard for me to get strong. I'm way more of a technician.
Yep.
So, I had to
work.
6 was scrappy, but 6 was right.
The build up to the games and then at the games, is it all of it? Is it like everything you thought it was? Was it like this wildly high point in your life? Like, what'd that look like?
Yeah. I hate saying this because I've lived a full life but I'll just tell you that there is nothing I've ever experienced that with that much hype that didn't disappoint. So, you think of different things in your life, they're hyped up.
Yep.
I won't give an example, but everybody can think of one. And then it kind of disappoints. And I can honestly say the Olympic Games there was nothing disappointing. It was all humbling and overwhelming in the best way. I mean, from being in the village to, like, just imagine, I swam in more than 40 international competitions during my career. So, and all over the world. I know that sounds I'm not an arrogant person.
You don't sound arrogant at all. This is all, you're giving context to what this is. And not at all.
So to get out in front of, the max number of people I think that ever watched me and my teammates swim was probably, just over 1,000, which was
massive.
Whoa. Massive.
Yeah.
So you walk into the Olympic Stadium and there's 55,000 people and the roar of the crowd is louder than your bloody music. And the name of the game is synchronized to the music. So nothing like it. You could hear the crowd underwater. Like you're upside down spinning underwater and you can hear this roar. I mean, we could still hear our music, particularly underwater, but I mean, there's no it is very challenging to describe.
Yeah.
I think it's different for every athlete. I think an interesting part of our story was that we weren't household names. No one knew what we were up to. You know, when you have a team of 8, it's like rowing, right?
Yeah.
Women's 8 won the silver that year. We won the silver that year. And this isn't a sad thing. I don't think anyone would remember any of our names. It's a different genre. So going in there and you're not a celebrity. You're not, I don't know if that's making sense, but we were just athletes.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was extraordinary.
Where was it?
Atlanta, Coca-Cola Olympics, Donovan Bailey, right? See, that's what you remember, right? Donovan Bailey, the bomb. That was the bomb Olympics. Do you remember?
Yep.
Terrible to remember that, but yeah.
It's like, as you're telling that story,
Yeah.
like I can tell that you're like, you can put yourself exactly right there and like feel it. Like it's,
it gives me chills still. Okay, this is back to our narrative though, about you on the bike. Can I tell the story?
Of course. This is your show, not mine.
So one of my favorite memories of the Olympic Games, we were there all 2 weeks. So we went to the opening and the closing, which is such a wonderful thing.
Which is insane, right? You said the word earlier, rare.
Yeah, it is.
It's rare, right?
Yeah.
You might know, well, you got teammates, you know 7 other ones that were there with you, but so when you are the athlete, it's not, for me, not being an Olympian, it's rare. It's so rare to come across Olympians because it's way up there. Like, it's just, so as you say, opening ceremonies, I'm like, fuck, it's wild that you got to do that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I have so many stories. I don't know which ones to tell you, but this links to our narrative of you on the bike and me behind her trying to catch her. It's so hard not to say her name, but I'm not going to.
No, you're good.
She's not from Calgary. So we've been competing against the same Americans, roughly the same gals for 10 years.
Yep.
Like let's just pretty much knew each other. And they always beat us. Like, not every time, but let's say like 90% of the time. So not the most fun thing, right? But hey, I mean, they were phenomenal. I give it to them. But this was the only time this ever happened. So in synchronized swimming, you get very few minutes in the pool you're going to compete in, and you do everything you can to go in there, use that music time.
Yeah.
It's called spacing, which is weird. I think it's kind of, anyway. So we had our spacing, oh gosh. I guess we had it before them. And let's call it like a week before we competed. We competed right in the middle of the games.
Yep.
And never in those 10 years had those women showed up to watch us space. And I'll tell you, like to see them come out and their team captain was right at the front, but kind of a little less swagger, a little bit tighter. Oh, that's one of my favorite memories because then we had a sports psychologist. He was a lot of fun. Peter Jensen was his name. And he's a very famous Canadian, in my world. Peter said to us, I think, after he said, you know what? Because he knew that had gone down and we're all, oh my gosh, can you believe it? Like they actually came and we got them. Like they're afraid. And you know, I've wrecked the punchline. Yeah, they did win the gold in the end, but literally it's a golden memory because then Peter said, you should go up and watch them. So we were done training. We quickly ran out of there, you know, didn't even shower, ran up to watch them from the stands do their spacing. And, you know, they're looking kind of oddly at it. Like it was the best. And I remember that feeling walking out of the stands thinking, this is what I take with me. Like this is, you got really close. And it's the bike thing again. You know, it was such a joy to be, what a great way to finish. Yeah, would it have been better to win a gold medal? Of course. Yeah. But pretty close. Close enough to matter. Yeah. Right? Close enough to count.
When you decide to retire from that, and you can tell the story of how it ends, but like that feeling you just described.
Yeah.
Did it haunt you after? Like that feeling
of being close enough?
Yeah, or just that feeling of like, oh, we're doing this. Like I'm in the right spot. I'm doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Do you then chase that outside of sport? That's what I'm kind of, I'm looking for those two dots to connect. So how does it end your kind of swimming career? And then, when you have those kind of highs,
Yeah.
where do you have an outlet?
Well, yeah, I mean, you hear a lot these days about athletes, retiring, transitioning. And I think I was part of the first wave of even being acknowledged for that. So when I first retired, I didn't leave because I was injured. I didn't leave because I was cut. Like, I left on my own terms, and it was still hard because your identity is linear. Like, and you are almost babysat to be in that identity, to eat right, to have the right strength training, to have the right amount of recovery, like everything, to have some sports psychology. You're taking it for granted at that point because you're literally, this is no game anymore. Like, you are going to go stand there and be the Canadians and be the one, etc. So I think right after that, it took me at least a year to feel okay. So I struggled, and I drew it one time. I drew it for a bunch of people where I could draw a straight line, an arrow, and I said that was my life, and then this is how I feel, and it was hundreds of tiny arrows that had no direction, which I know sounds dramatic, but it is really hard, and sometimes people would say, I don't get it. Like, weren't you glad to be done? I said, yeah, I was really glad to be done, but I miss being really good at something. Because I didn't feel like I was really good at anything for a long time. Yeah. But I didn't, completely break down. But yeah, you gotta give people room for that. And I think it's kind of like grief. I don't mean to be dramatic, but I think you gotta go through that transition in your identity, or it'll just wait for you.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to do it. So I think in typical Cari fashion, I tackled it, but it was a hard year or two. For sure.
Everyone handles it differently too,
yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
And the duration of time that it takes to, it's always interesting talking to Olympians about this, the transition out. To your point, a lot of them, it's not on their terms. But even if it is on their terms, though, it's still traumatic where their identity is just like all wrapped up in this thing.
Yeah.
To get to on the other side of it, like super clear, like once you're out, like does everything kind of, do you find your new thing that you want to chase? Like, do you have to put work in to find this, or like, how does it happen?
Yeah. Yeah, I love that question. You can't force it. And you can't, for me, my experience was I couldn't force it. I mean, of course, I always wanted those same. I mean, the stories I've told you up until now, those are great interruptions, right? To borrow the theory, and so you can't chase an interruption. It's gonna happen.
But do you want to, though, right?
Oh, of course, I wanted to be really good at. I mean, I want to be good at life, right? So for me, it wasn't going to be an immediate. I mean, I still had a year of undergrad to finish up, and so. I did, but my classes weren't super tough. So I did that. And then I applied for a job. I got a downtown job. I did not like it.
Because it was a downtown job, like traditional?
No, you know what? It was, I didn't like it because, and it was, I told people this after I knew within a week I was going to hate it, but I made myself stay for a year because I didn't want to be a quitter.
Yep.
And it wasn't a great year. I don't have stories like the ones I just told you, but I did learn, and we always say this to young people, right? But I learned what I didn't want to do and why, because I was kind of in the middle, a mediator between clients and designers. And I'm not in the middle kind of gal. I'm extreme. So I either want to sell you on what the client should have or sell you on why the art is more money. I don't want to be in the middle trying to, like if I was a realtor, I would be the worst realtor in the history of the world. Because I don't want to, I'm going to, you can tell already, right? I'm all in.
When you're in.
No, forget about it. So that was good to learn.
But hard really in the moment, though, right?
Oh, yeah.
To say the cliche, like, it was a good learning experience. It's easy. It's easy to say it.
Yeah, it is.
But back then, it's stressful, right? Like, I'm sure it's like.
Year.
Yeah.
Another tough year. So I had a bit of a chapter of, I don't have good stories from that time, but I do have good takeaways. Yeah.
as a high performing human to get in that kind of flow,
Yeah.
not ideal. And
Yeah.
what I'm also asking is like, did fitness stay with you?
Yeah.
I'm really curious, like how it all,
Yeah.
so.
Well, you can guess the answer because I was sedentary for a while.
Yeah.
And talk about downward spiral, right? And
Yeah.
I was trying not to eat, like all the things. All the things. Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
isn't it interesting?
stupid.
Well,
It's stupid that I did that. Like, I know better.
but is it because you redline for so long that when it's over that,
Yeah, rebellion.
and you know the amount of energy it takes to
Yeah.
keep this like machine going.
Yeah, and you kind of, I've talked to other athletes about this. Like so we were training 6 or 7 hours a day. So if you're going to go to the gym and do
Yeah.
30 minutes of elliptical,
Yeah, like-
which people did in the 90s, like, sorry, elliptical's great.
Yeah.
But it
Low
didn't-
Impact.
Yeah, it didn't seem to count.
Right.
It's
It was
kind of
either
like,
6
why
or
bother?
nothing.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. And I think everybody has to find their way to make sense of that. And it didn't take me long. I think by the time I had that job, I started to run outside and really enjoy it.
Yep.
So so that wasn't too long. But yeah, I was not super healthy for a little while after retiring. But so the move away from downtown, are you ready for
Yes.
this? It's not going to surprise you. So I was coaching, I was working like 8 till 5, whatever kind of normal hours.
Yeah.
And I was coaching 2 mornings a week at 5:30 for my greatest coach I ever swam for.
No way.
Yeah. And the only time I felt alive any week was when I was coaching. So there was a big sign, a big hammer over my head that carried, if you only feel alive when you're coaching, you should probably coach. And at the end of the year, she said, I'm retiring, you're taking my team. So I had no business taking that team over. But, when your greatest mentor gives you something, you take it. I think I made a mess of it, but I ended up doing a master's degree at that time. So enter Lorna again. See, my stories are all like a fugue on the same, but my mom said, I'll never forget this. I said, Mom, I want to coach. Like, that's when I feel alive. I got something to do there. I got something. It gets so exciting to try and help someone get really good.
Yep.
It's exciting. And my mom, so you could either and of course, and this is a lot of women, especially in coaching, they over educate themselves because there's that sense of, and I mean, I don't want to go down the road of feminism necessarily, but it's feeling underqualified.
Yep.
So my reaction was, well, if I'm going to coach, I got to do some coach education.
Get some letters.
Yeah. And so you could either do, back then it was called your level 4. It had my level 3 coaching because I always coached part-time when I was an athlete. I loved it. Like, why wasn't I paying attention? I loved it. But then I didn't. Anyway, my mom said, she goes, yeah, you could do a diploma, but if you did a master's degree, it opens more doors. That's all she said. I think she always knew I wanted to be an academic, but she just left it at that. So I did a 2-year. It was so fun because I got to study what my athletes were doing because I brought in this wild and different way of coaching, and because it was based on them really learning and being self-determined instead of following orders. So it was really fun. It challenged them like you wouldn't believe, because a lot of athletes like just being told what to do, or they did back then. I honestly don't know. I haven't coached in a little while, but it was really, really enjoyable, and I felt more than alive. Like, it was a fit. So that was how I got out of downtown. Sorry, downtown. I admire what you do. Keep doing it.
But when you know it's not a fit, it's not a fit. Because I'm a fish out of water walking downtown.
I bet.
Hate it.
Yeah.
But when you're a youngster, you're like, well, this is the only option. But then the older we get, we realize like,
Yeah.
it's not for everybody.
No, it wasn't worth the cost.
No. So you get your master's,
Yep.
and then where do you start going?
Well, then I had kids, and I didn't. Yeah, I thought I would just keep coach, and I couldn't do it with these little dudes. I didn't want to leave them. I I didn't want to leave them all the time.
Yeah.
And I was really fortunate to be in a marriage where I could be with them. So I took care of them for 8 years.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. We hung out at Lindsay Park. They went to the active preschool, took them swimming.
So they're in the pool.
I worked out a ton. It was quite a lot of fun. But I met a lot of lifetime friends in that chapter, and I'm so grateful. Yeah. It was a wild chapter. Being a parent is harder than being an Olympian. It is.
You say that like deadpan, like just all of it.
You're not going to do anything more important than parent these kids. Yeah. Like sports, nothing compared to that.
Did you know that like right away? And do you?
No, I was an idiot. No, I didn't know it. I mean, I knew I loved them so much I'd run in front of a train for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think I appreciated what I do now looking at them as young men. And by the way, they're spectacular. Like, I'm so proud of them. But it's just shocking that, anyone can be a parent pretty much. And there's no letters behind your name. And I don't think there should be, but I really think there's nothing more important that I've done anyway. And I wasn't perfect at it. Like, I wasn't,
The way you've like threaded your mom into all this.
Yeah.
Does that affect how you parent?
Yeah.
Like subconsciously, your mom was, whether planned or unplanned, just like
Always there.
there at a very interesting time.
Yeah. Yeah. And she was the only mom on our street that worked full time. She was different. And I say that with no judgment. I stayed home with my guys for 8 years. But she didn't. I'm sure part of it was she had to pay for her sports, right? Yeah. She was a teacher. I think, in my parenting, when they were little, I was always humbled by how consistent my mom was. I'm not a super, I don't know what word to use.
Even keel?
Yeah, I'm not at all. I'm meteoric. And
good and bad?
Yeah. So that was the things I don't love about my parenting are that, right?
Yeah.
That I will say whenever I yelled, and I did at times, not but when they were little. How embarrassing. But anyway, I'm telling you the truth here. What I am proud of is I apologize straight up. I would say, you know what? I should not have yelled.
Mom got hot.
Yeah, I should not have yelled. And they do remember that. And just to say, this is why I was upset, but I shouldn't have yelled.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So I did do that. Lorna, no, I don't think I was the same parent as her because I'm not the same person. But I think what's cool about Lorna and me is the older I get, the better I understand what she was up to. Yeah.
Which is kind of fun, isn't it? To actually like.
And she has a different personality. And in my work as a prof, I always try to fight hard against personality because in leadership research, a lot of people either lean toward personality or lean toward behaviors and skills. And I lean the behavior and skill way because you can get them better and practice them. I don't love labeling someone and putting them in a box. You're an introvert and boom, let's put you in the box. But on the other hand, personality is a thing. Like it is a thing. And so she and we have just a different disposition. And I've always wished I was more like Lorna.
Good influence.
Yeah.
Was your progression or your next step to teach? Like how did 8 years being super mom?
Yeah. Well, being sort of mom, no.
Is that the move? And was there something like, were you thinking about what's next or like the teaching thing? It's fascinating to me because coaching, teaching, same thing. And I just like teachers are smart humans and they're just, you're involved in the next gen, which is really interesting. So how'd you get there?
Yeah. Luck. Because when Mini-Man, my second son, was about to start kindergarten, I kind of started thinking about, the plan wasn't to hang out at home forever when people are at school. So, but I was...
elliptical.
Oh, geez. We got to edit that part out, right?
No way.
So I had been thinking lots and I had this opportunity to do my PhD. And it was, you know how much I hate the word dream, so I won't call it that, but it had been in the back of my mind for 20 years at that point.
Just cause, like just
Yeah.
to have it, like just to excel it, like to get to the
know.
level.
I know. This is so neat to talk to you because I am seeing the pattern now because the first step was, can I get into the program?
Yeah.
Can I find a supervisor? Can I study what I want to study? And so I wasn't down the road wanting, well, I was always wanting at an unconscious level, but I sure never told anyone that the end point goal was to get the job I have. Like never. Just not that kind of person.
But it's there. Like you were thinking.
Just chipping. Yeah.
But,
yeah.
And did you like say it to yourself?
No.
Did you put a poster on did you put it like a?
No. It was too scary this time.
So you didn't do it?
I didn't have a coach anymore.
Yeah.
You know, it's such a different context. And I want everyone to understand that having a paid, trained coach helping you get there, that is not the same as hustling out there by yourself.
Yep.
It's not. I had great experiences though in figuring out the research. I ended up studying how coaches and athletes won Olympic gold medals in Vancouver. So I interviewed 24 of them separately.
Cool.
And ended up studying leadership. I it felt more like a quest than a dream. I'm not joking that I was humbled by being a coach myself. I don't think I was half the coach that I wanted to be. And then it got cut off. But I think it really I'm glad it happened that way because then when I studied these coaches and athletes, I realized I was studying leadership was a universal set of behaviors, not just for sport.
Yeah.
And it's changed the trajectory of not only of what I understand, but what I get to help other people understand.
Which sounds like a really cool spot.
Yeah. Oh, it's the best. Yeah, I'm so lucky to have my job.
So how did it to tackle a PhD? And obviously, like when Megan did the intro, I had to like Google your name to just like make sure you fit into the things. But I did see the letters. Is it does it? I don't want to use this word, but like, does it put a bow on everything? Does it
have a PhD?
Yeah. Does it? In your mind, the chase, the like climbing, the doing all the thing.
Yeah.
What did it feel like when you got it?
Well, I have this picture of me, and I mean, I smile easily, and it's just like my smile was my entire face.
Yeah.
So it was to have it, but I didn't have a job at the end.
Which most students probably don't.
Yeah. So the short answer to that is yes, I was happy to have it.
Yeah.
And I was disappointed I still hadn't made it to Glassberg status.
Right.
So then when I got the tenure track job, which wasn't until I was 47, so I graduated with my PhD at age 40. Cool opportunity for roughly 5 years. I worked half-time doing advanced coach education. So I learned a lot about adult learning.
Yep.
I've always been obsessed with learning. Like, how does someone learn? And so to figure out how really high-end coaches learn,
Yep.
like such a gift to me as a teacher.
Yep.
Not necessarily content expertise, but teaching and learning expertise. I use everything I learned in those 5 years. Every day I'm on campus. So then when this job came up, I wanted the job I have right now so badly, I didn't know if I could apply. I was so afraid of not getting it.
So it popped up and you were like,
Yeah.
this is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
So how do you deal with those two giant different, like those swings, those emotional swings? What do you just, got it?
No, never I got it. I know. I'm super weird. It's, and I still do this. Are you going to throw your hat in or not?
Yeah.
Like, could you throw it in a way that you won't regret that there's no stone unturned? And of course I can.
Yeah.
But I have to get there. You can't tell me to do it. I have to really get there and then say, yeah, I'm swinging for the fences. Like for my interview, so when you get a job like mine, I'm a teaching professor. So I teach twice as much as a traditional research professor. We all teach, but I did teaching demonstration, and I went and bought small whiteboards because I have a lot of beliefs about teaching and learning, and I wanted them to do an exercise where they all had a whiteboard pen. There are probably, I don't know, 30, 35 people in this situation, and they're not students. They're all, academics. And, they're marking you.
Yeah.
And it's another interruption because it was weird. No one, what in the world is she doing? Like, it's not super normal. And I'll never forget this woman from nursing that was on the committee. She came up to me after it was all over, and she just said, I actually learned something. And I just think that's how I just swung for the fences. I mean, it was outrageous, and I didn't want to wonder if I'd held back, I never want that. Because I do, when you do, or when you're underprepared. I mean, there's nothing worse than showing up in class and being underprepared, and it happens to everyone. But I always kick myself because it's way better to be so ready that you can just have fun.
Agreed. Getting this 47 is kind of when you started teaching?
Yeah.
Later in life?
Oh, yeah.
Whatever, maybe.
Old.
Is it like the perfect time? Like, if you think like all the things, ups and the downs and sport and outside sport, like, is now at 47, was it like the exact right time versus being like, if I would have done this earlier in my life, but like.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it
feels perfect right now.
I do. Well, it doesn't feel perfect.
Big word.
Because that word terrifies me.
Yeah. Dream perfect. I get it.
Well, and especially,
I get it.
Yeah. I'm a word person.
As soon as I said, I was like, fuck.
No, it's okay. I can't imagine it any other way. And I sometimes look at colleagues who came straight through the ranks, right? Undergrad, master's, PhD, and I look at them as phenoms, right? They were just so smart. It just, they were just swept up. People wanted them because you're in a really good lab. Somebody's saying, hey, I want you in this lab. I'm going to fund you, all that. And I follow just such a different path. I'm not a traditional academic at all. I'm a pracademic, like a practical.
Yep.
It's kind of a weird word, but so I think for me, it didn't happen. It didn't have to happen this way, but I'm super grateful it did because I got to have this wild ride, and I'm a late bloomer, and I hope I get to have a long career. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to ask you a ridiculous question. That professor you referenced earlier, the guy that's on the walls, do you ever give that any thought by the time you're done?
Yeah.
Or maybe you're already on the wall.
Yeah.
Does that still exist? Like, do teachers still go up there? I'm putting I'm putting you on the spot and asking you. But
no. I'll answer. I'm in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
You already are. Well, that didn't fucking take long. Jesus.
Yeah.
As soon as when I was just about to ask, I was like, well, maybe it might be done already.
But you know what? For sure. And I am so grateful for that. I know it sounds corny, but you're only in that one if students really are really getting something out of these classes. And so I don't teach like Dr. Glasberg. Into the whiteboards and I think the reason I enjoy it and so that my students enjoy it is I do it slightly differently. And I think people that are really, really into their thing are so into it that you can't help but bring folks along. So I mean, the best teaching award you can win is the student union one. It's unbelievable. Yeah. Yeah.
I should have known.
I shouldn't have said the Hall of Fame, but it is, if you win it 5 times, then they put you in the Hall of Fame.
Received like over and over. I should have.
No,
What's really interesting is like, as I was like getting it out of my head, I felt like I already knew the answer, but anyways, that's why I went there.
No, I mean, thanks for asking. I shouldn't chase awards, but this is another example of where I was experiencing success,
Yeah.
but I only knew that because I got the nomination. So this isn't an award you apply for.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful. Anytime I got that email, I would cry because they sent an email and say, hello, your students have nominated you. We're going to collect feedback from them. So,
Yeah.
I mean, who wouldn't be overcome by that? It's such a beautiful thing. Yeah.
Yeah, especially in that environment too, where student teacher relationships and good, bad, and
Yeah.
all the things.
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah.
take the time to do it.
Yes. Yeah. They're lovely.
Yeah, rare.
Yeah.
The idea around like your PhD in that leadership, I'm sure you know a lot of things about leadership. If we could do another podcast on leadership, maybe write a book around it.
Yeah.
You might have started one, maybe.
I haven't.
I'm just going to
Yeah.
guess at things now. But
Here it is.
the idea around leadership and kind of high performance is very topical on social right now, on social media.
Is it?
And it's like this, people are looking for answers. And so whether it's like self-help books or business leadership or
Yeah.
like all the things.
All the things.
So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this answer and I'm going to chop it into a little video and put it on LinkedIn. So when you think about this, and this is all staying in the edit, but like leadership.
Yeah.
Leadership in the corporate world. Is there like do you have the thought around it? Do you have an easy way to articulate it? Or do you have leadership that's just kind of holistic in sport, business? I know you probably wrote a giant paper on this, but like, how do
Yeah.
you summarize all that into
Yeah.
this? Like how you view leadership?
Yeah. So I won't pretend I know if corporate leadership is a certain thing or not a certain thing. I really appreciate the appetite for it in any discipline because it means people are trying to do better.
Yep.
Yep. And the beginning, middle, and end of the story is it's relational. You got to build relationships. This leadership happens in the spaces between us. It's not someone on their own. It's not someone. I always show a picture of a guy standing on his own on the top of a mountain with his arm raised and say, if you're in my leadership class because you think that's what it is, you should drop the class. It's not. No one's standing there alone, right? It's relational. One of my favorite researchers says it's a process of mutual social influences. And as scholarly as that sounds, that's what it is. And it's, we have different positional power. In my dissertation, there's coaches and athletes. We know who has the power. But there's something, you earn the right to challenge people and you get them excited enough to move beyond what they're able to do right now. That's leadership, and it can go in any direction. I don't love it when people say, leadership's everywhere. No, it's not. It's actually missing in a lot of places. But it's a positive social influence, and we're influencing the person in such a way that not only do they develop really more positively, so does the performance they do, whatever that is. It's both. Like it really is both and. And it's totally interpersonal. I think we could be more intentional about developing it intentionally in folks instead of thinking it just happens, that it'll just show up in the night and suddenly I'm really effective. That's just not true. You got to practice building relationships. You got to practice being demanding.
Yeah.
Like it isn't either or. And if you come out of the gates demanding, you can have short-term wins, but no one's going to stay with you for long. Like you really got to earn that trust. And in the coaching course, so I teach 2 sport coaching classes and 2 leadership classes in Kines. And there's this concept in the coaching literature called the bank of trust. And it's an elegant concept, and it won't surprise you that you invest and invest and invest. And then when you take a withdrawal and you a little bit against trust, so in a sports setting, you pull an athlete in some special situation because you need to, but it withdraws a tiny bit of trust of this great relationship you've had, but it doesn't break the whole thing. You still got the account. And I think you can apply that to anything when it comes to leadership. I think leadership is a verb. I hate it when people are called the senior leadership tween. My first thing is really like, are they practicing effective leadership? Which is very sassy, but true. And the last thing I'll say, I could, I'm weaving around a bit here, but we know that to become really good at something, you have to engage in deliberate practice. And deliberate practice literally means you're taking risks and it's really hard. And you're super intentional. So if you're learning to play the guitar tonight, getting that first chord and where your fingers are is really going to be a stretch, and you're uncomfortable. And I don't think we do that much with interpersonal skills. And when we don't, it means we're not practicing leadership.
Love it.
That's my summary.
It's amazing. I knew there was going to be something there. I was just wondering how are you going to like say it, because it's like,
Yeah.
you're teaching classes, like semesters around this idea.
Yeah.
So it actually,
Yeah.
it's fascinating.
I push them super hard. I really do. Yeah.
Which they probably appreciate that, right?
Yeah, I mean, if they stay in the class, they do. They can do it.
Yeah.
People who say, kids these days, I would debate them. Yeah, there's some ferociously good kids these days. We do not need to be afraid. I don't agree. What I see thousands a year, and 85% of them are rock stars. Yeah.
Thanks for doing this.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, when Megan, she's always like chirping me about different guests and like how she likes the show and stuff. So when she said, I think I have someone, I was like, yes, obviously. So this has been really cool. So thank you.
Thank you for having me, letting me tell stories.
Like you said earlier, like the power of story. That's why this is a cool scenario for me, because no education, don't read books, don't consume anything. This is like my MBA. It's like my business school. Like it's all the things, because I just get to hear these stories from people.
Yeah.
And it's like I get to learn a lot in a short amount of time. So it's always cool to sit across from a super smart,
Nerd.
successful athlete nerd and just like listen to stories, because there's so many little pieces I think that are just a better way for me to learn. So me being selfish, that's the only thing that matters right now. But like it's a cool atmosphere.
Well, thank you for having me.
I end the show with one question.
Okay.
When I say Calgary, where does your head go?
Big blue skies, Nose Hill, the mountains, really fun, kind people.
Perfect. Thanks for taking the time.
Thanks for having me.
Like you said, you're a late bloomer. It's going to be cool to see what happens like in the next decade or whatever whatever the timeline is.
Yeah.
It will be interesting.
I know I'm
to
always
watch
late to the party, but I'm there.
Yeah, you're like there. So anyways, when you write your book and do all the things and fucking
not gonna
Netflix
write a
series,
book.
all the things you're going to do, it'll be fun to watch.
Yeah. Well, that's kind. Likewise.
You're going to actually, what were you going to say?
I don't love the word leadership at this point.
Because it's overused?
Yeah, and it's such a contested word.
Well, it's...
Like students come into my classes and they think they're going to learn to become, like Elon Musk or Steve Jobs. And I'm like, they're not practicing leadership. They're having commercial success. Those aren't synonymous.
Yeah.
Ideally, they would be. But let's get into it, And so the word is tricky, but I try to scare students out of my classes. Like, this is not going to be.
You'd be a fourth.
Right?
I'd be walking out the back and like, who is this?
I know. I leave videos for them before class. Like, and sometimes I put the Clash song, Should I Stay or Should I Go?
Oh, yeah.
And just.
Oh, you really fuck with them?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. No, it's, and they know.
You're known.
Well, because those classes aren't required. They're required of some of them, but a lot of students take that as a senior option.
Right.
And the one first year class I teach is required, so I don't try to scare them out of it.
Yep.
But I try to scare them into how important they are in other people's lives. Like if you're serious, you're going to be an occupational therapist. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
Because you don't know. You don't know. You can't. You're on the soccer team. You're not going to work with people on the soccer team.
Amazing. You should record these and post them.
I'd probably lose my job.
Yeah, exactly. So don't do that.
Yeah.
Thanks for taking the time.
Thank you.
It's been really cool.